Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner, boxing 24. Good evening. How's everyone doing today? Hope everybody's doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on this side. As always, God is great. God is good. And I definitely can't complain. We here. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave comments. Hit the like button. Let me know how you feel about the content. And let's help each other keep bringing some good information, right? So I want to talk about the 3 most avoided boxers, not in the history of the sport, but right now in 2023. It's a lightweight, it's a welterweight, and it's a middleweight. And the first one would be Shakur Stevenson, most avoided fighter at lightweight. Then we got Jaron Ennis at welterweight. And then, of course, we got the Mexican monster, as named by Mike Tyson, David Benavidez. So why do I say that they're the most avoided fighters? Shakur Stevenson moved to 135. And we know looks like he's finally going to get a fight. And he's going to fight with Edwin De Los Santos on November 16th in Vegas. But last week, it seemed like it was a fallout. I don't know all the information, all the particulars, or all the reasons 100%. But the fight with him and Frank Martin, the ghost, Frank Martin, didn't work out. And so they're not going to fight again. And that's a fight that Shakur Stevenson wanted. And that's a fight that really would have helped propel his career even more. But before that, and before Edwin De Los Santos stepped up to the plate, George Kambosos didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. Pitbull Cruz didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. The same Pitbull Cruz that fought Tank Davis and gave him a pretty close fight, I believe. These fighters, man, they don't want to fight Shakur. Lomachenko didn't want to fight Shakur. Zepeda, he didn't want to fight Shakur. I mean, this is 3-4 fighters, man, didn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. And, you know, the only one that I heard give a real reason was, or not a real reason, but a reason was Pitbull Cruz and his team saying that they felt Shakur was just going to be running around the ring. Well, listen, man, that's ridiculous because he don't run around the ring. If last I saw, he stood right in front of Oscar Valdez. So I don't know about this running around the ring thing. He stands right in front of you and controls the distance, and he's a great boxer, and nobody just wants to get out-punched and out-beat, and they don't want to get embarrassed at the end of the day. So they don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson at lightweight, right? And now that he's at 135, I think his power is going to really show out. So nobody really wants that smoke, but Edwin De Los Santos did step up to the plate, and hopefully that fight will materialize. Now we move on to the welterweight division with Jaron Ennis, and, you know, he can't get a fight with 30 fights under his belt, right? He can't get a fight. What's going on? Keith Thurman don't want to fight him. Selling wolf tickets. Ugas don't talk about boots. That's a fight that he could have took. Right? Nobody wants to fight Jaron Ennis at welterweight. Stanionis, he says he'll fight Boots, but he don't look like he's pushing for it. Virgil Ortiz was never calling his name. The IBF, he was the IBF mandatory. And that's the reason he was always calling out Errol Spence, because Errol Spence had 3 belts. So he called out Errol Spence more because he was #1 mandatory for the IBF. He was never one mandatory for the WBO belt that Terrence Crawford had. So Bernie, and the rest of you who's saying he was only calling out Spence, no, he was never #1 for the WBO belt that Terrence Crawford was the holder of before he became undisputed. Okay? So stop telling lies. He was either 2 or 3, but he was never #1. Roger Ortiz was always over him, and Stanley Jonas. It was not Boots. All right, so he kept calling out Spence more because not only was he the #1 mandatory IBF, but because he had 3 belts. Why not go after 3? Does it make more sense to go after 1 belt as opposed to 3? I'm gonna go after 3, and then I go get the 1. But I'm gonna get the 3 first if I could get it. So that was the reason. Most avoided fighter at welterweight. Okay, Errol Spence didn't want to fight him. Crawford doesn't want to fight him. And I get it, high risk, low reward. But Crawford, basically, the things that Thurman did to you and Danny Garcia and Errol Spence, other side of the street and all of that, some of the same reasons, scenarios is what's happening to the Boots right now. Same thing you're doing to him, Crawford. I mean, I like you, Crawford. You know that. And I knew you was going to be Spence, but we got to keep it real. What you doing to Boots is what was done to you. They was locking you out. Now you locking him out. So if you can't get this rematch on at 147, because you don't want to do 154, supposedly, unless you get more money, right? If that's true, then what you gonna do? You can fight Boots. Don't get it twisted. You're gonna make some money fighting Boots because he's a high-ranked contender, high-ranked challenger. He got an interim belt, so he's just not anybody. And he got fights under his belt. Okay, so he's ready, willing and able. RWA to get busy. It's a good fight for you, man. You know, but Boots is the most avoided fighter at welterweight. The third fighter that's most avoided is the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Now, it looks like he might be finally getting a fight with Demetrius Andre, but Demetrius Andre wasn't trying to move up and fight Benavidez. If you want to keep it real, Caleb Plant, he only got the heart, in my opinion, to fight Benavidez after he beat Anthony Durrell. If he didn't beat Anthony Durrell, and in the fashion that he beat him, he wasn't trying to do nothing with Benavidez. That gave him a little bit of heart. He had Stephen Breadman Williams in his corner. Okay, let's take it on. He ain't really want to do nothing with Benavidez. But he did. He finally stepped up to the plate. And, you know, now we see the result. But Andre wasn't trying to fight Caleb Plant. Canelo, and he's my man. I like Canelo. I like him with the Charlo fight. And, you know, he's one of my all-time favorites and pound for pound and all that. But to say you're not going to fight another Mexican fighter, Canelo, come on, man, stop that. See, we got to just keep it real, even if we like somebody. So, yeah, Canelo running from Benavidez. You should fight Benavidez, man. Your career won't be complete at this stage, okay, unless you fight him. You should have been fighting Jamal Charlo, but he got his issues going on. So you're fighting the junior middleweight brother. Okay, fine. But what you going to do after that? You got a 3-fight deal with PBC. You should be fighting Benavidez, man. He's undefeated. And if you say, well, he ain't really fought nobody, he ain't really did this, he ain't really did that, well, he got Caleb Plant on his belt. And you just beat Caleb Plant. That's a good name to have on your belt, okay? He got a few people that may not be on the level of fighters that you fought, but before you fought Floyd Mayweather, you didn't have, I mean, you had Shane Mosley. You did fight Shane Mosley and Austin Trout and Kermit Cintron, but that was really the best 3 that you fought before you fought Floyd. The fact of the matter is that you had over 40 fights under your belt, so that made it more appealing, but David Benavidez, man, is avoided. Nobody wants to fight him. So you can't really blame him for not getting certain fights because nobody wanted to fight him. But now he got Caleb Plant under his belt. Okay, so, you know, he got Durrell. He already had beat Durrell. So, I mean, you know, you got to give the man a shot, man. But these are the 3 most avoided fighters in boxing right now. Okay, Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, and David Benavidez. Tell me what you think about the 3 most avoided fighters, how you feel about it, right, wrong, indifferent. But this is my opinion, and I'm going based on the facts. What I just said is facts. I ain't make nothing up, right? That's what we deal with here. We deal with facts. We don't deal with, you know, making stuff up. Those are the 3 most avoided fighters. But let me know how you feel about it. Peace and blessings, y'all, in this corner boxing 24. Leave your comments, subscribe to the page. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, all right? Peace.